Hello soulmates, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you are new to this channel, you're welcome. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to cut and also how to sew this beautiful wrap blouse with a collar. So if this is something you're interested in, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and without wasting much time, let's get right into the video. For this tutorial, you will need about 1.5 to 2 yards of the fabric of your choice. You can use Ankara, you can use crepe, silk, duchess, any fabric of your choice. So let's draft our pattern. So this is my pattern paper. It is folded into two just like this. And as you can see, the measurement on it, my shoulder, my armhole, bust, waist, and my blouse length. So let me tell you the measurement I'm using. So this is my measurement. My armhole is 7, my bust is 9, my half length is 15, and my blouse length is 23 inches. So now I'll go ahead and just do the armhole. So after the armhole, the next thing I'll do is to measure my bust divided by 4. So my bust is 34 inches, 34 divided by 4, that's 8.5. And I'll go ahead and mark my waist divided by 4. Then I will add that allowance of 1 inch. So at the hip area, I will measure my hip measurement divided by 4. So that's just what I will mark at this point. Then I will connect all the points together. So at the waist area, we added darts. Please, it is important you add your darts so that the blouse can sit well on your body. I'll still use my marker to draw this out. So I'm just using a pencil initially. So now at the blouse length over here, you go up by 1 inch at the edge, then you blend it in like this. You just blend it in like this for this part. So after we are done, the next thing we'll be doing is to make our shoulder slope. So I'll just go down by 1 inch at the shoulder. That will be my shoulder slope. So for the neckline, I'm using 2.5 inches. I'm using 3 inches rather. So I'm using 3 inches. I'm marking 3 inches here. And the depth will be about 1 inch. So this is the back pattern. That is, we are drafting the back pattern first. So we'll now convert the back pattern to the front pattern. So now I've made my shoulder slope, and for the neckline I'm using 3 inches by 1, that is 1 inches deep and 3 inches wide. So I'll just use my hand to connect it like this. So this is what I have. Then I'll go ahead and cut out the neckline. So the next thing I want to do now is to mark out my dart point. You know, we added dart allowance at the waist area. So it's now time to mark out the dart point. So you divide your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Then you mark it on your pattern paper. So at this point here, I went up by 5 inches at the waist area. That line at the middle is my waistline. So I went up by 5 inches, then I went down by 5 inches. So I'll just go ahead and note the points. Yeah, I'll just note the point like that. So it's time to cut out our back pattern before we change this pattern to the front. So now I've placed this on my fabric and I'm adding ½ inch at the neckline area, at the shoulder area, at the armhole. I'm not adding any darts, and at the side I'm adding 1 inch, and at the lower part of the blouse I'm adding 1 inch also. So this is what we have. So now it's time to transfer our dart. So what I do is to just put a pin at the point that I located on the fabric. Then I'll use my chalk to just note the points on the fabric so that when I'm sewing I will see the shock point. So now let's turn this pattern to the front pattern. Let's convert it to the front pattern. So you go ahead and fold it just like this, then you measure your neckline. So for me, I'm using 6 inches deep neckline. So from that 6 inches, just roll a line at that point, roll a line like that, then you just reshape this neckline. So you just reshape it like this, then this is what you have. This is what you have. So you go ahead and just cut it out. Just cut it out gently like this. Now after you are done, you open up your pattern. So you go ahead and open up the pattern, then you extend this line, the waist line. Yeah, that line, you extend it to the other side. So you go ahead and just extend it to this other side like this. Then the next thing we'll be doing is to blend the neckline downward. We'll be blending this neckline downward. So you place your ruler like this, then you just rule the neckline, like from the neckline you just draw the line downwards to the waist area. So you just roll like this to the waist area. So it must meet the waist line, that line at the waist, it must meet it, and it must not be close to the side. As you can see, that is about 3 inches space by the side. So now the next thing to do is to locate the midpoint. As you can see, I went inward by 2 inches on one side, then I'm connecting it like this. So at the midpoint there, I just went in by 2 inches, then I'm connecting like this. So you should have something like this too. So that is where the belt will join a belt to that point. So you will see that later. So this is what we have right now. Then the next thing I will do is just to cut this out. Like I said, there should be a space of about 3 inches at this side. The extension, the neckline extension must not get to the side. There must be a 3 inches space at least. So now I've went ahead to cut that out. Then I'll be transferring this to my fabric. So I've placed this on my fabric. Then I added 1 inch at the lower part, about 1/4 inch at the side because I'll be turning it with a bias tape. Then I added 1/2 inch at the shoulder area. For the side, I added 1 inch for the side. So for the armhole, I didn't add anything to that part. So this is what my pattern looks like on my fabric. I went ahead to cut that. So for this also, I will transfer my darts. So I'll be transferring this dart. As you can see, the point that I located earlier is still there. So I'll just pull my pin through it, just like we did for the back bodies. So I'll go ahead and just locate my darts. So this is what we have, and this is what it looks like. So placing it on each other, you should have something like this. So as you can see, it is overlapping. So let's go ahead and draft the pattern for the sleeve. So this is my sleeve pattern. If you want a tutorial, I will link it up here. This is my accurate sleeve pattern, that is from my shoulder to my wrist. This is my measurement. So I'm folding 2 inches inward at this point, then I'll cut it out. This will serve as the band at the armhole area. So I will divide this pattern into 2, then I'll transfer it to my fabric now. So this is it on the fabric. So at the tip here, I'm adding 1/2 inch. For the joining allowance also, I'm adding 1/2 inch, and at the lower part over there, I'm adding 1/2 inch. You see the space I added in between will be for the gathers. So at this top here, I'll just notch the midpoint so that I can know the midpoint. So now this is my belt, and this belt is 46 inches long. So this is 23 inches, is on fold, so it's 46 inches long, and the wideness is about 4 to 5 inches. So I'm using 4 inches here, so I will sew with just 1/4 inch on both sides. So when I sew, the belt will still be almost 2 inches. So at this tip here, I'm folding it like this just to slant the edge of the belt. So this is just to slant the edge of the belt. So I'll go ahead and just sew this and turn it out. So this is the main bodies, and I'll be joining it at the shoulder area, and I'll also be making my darts. I will only join this at the shoulder area, and I'll also make the darts on the front and the back bodies. So now this is it after sewing and making the dart. So the next thing to do is to notch the back neckline. This is because of the collar we'll be adding to it. So I'll be notching the back neckline. Then I'll be measuring the back neckline to the front. So for the front, I'll just be measuring 1 inch towards the front, or 1.5. So 1 inch from the front, then I'll measure the rest of the back like that. So when I measured my It was 5 inches on photo. When I open it up, that's 10 inches. So mine was 10 inches. So the collar I'll be cutting will be 10 inches long. So now this is the collar. When I to cut it and sew it. If you want a tutorial on how to cut a collar, I will link the tutorial up here for you to see. So now this fabric right here, they are for the band, and it is of fold like this. So it is cut like this. I just added half inch for the sewing, and as you can see, it is folded. The fabric is folded, and the wideness is about 2 inches. So now I'll go ahead and make gathers on this part, then I will sew it to the band. So the band, I'll just join the band to it like this. Like I said, I added stay to one part of the band, one side of it. So this is my collar here, and I'll go ahead and also notch it at the midpoint so that I can sew from the back to the side. So I'll place it at the back neckline, then I'll just pin it down. Like I said, this collar should get to at least 1 inch towards the front. That is, after the joining at the shoulder area, it should be at least 1 inch towards the front neckline. So it should be 1 inch towards it. So this is what I have after sewing. So what I sew with it was not up to half inch, so I didn't sew it up to half inch. So now the next thing I'll be doing is to use a bias tape to turn this neckline. As you know that this neckline is not straight, so I'll be starting from this point here. I'll be starting from here to the other side of the front that is the overlapping of the front. So I'll be using my bias tape to turn this from here, and I'll do the other part later, because if I do it together it won't be nice. So I first did that part. So now the next thing I'll be doing is the other side. So I'll use the bias tape to also turn this other side, just the way I did the first side. So this is my belt, and I've went ahead to sew it and iron it, and this is what I have. So I'll be fixing the belt to the blouse. So at this pointed edge of this blouse, where the joining meets for that front, so I'll be joining it with it. Then I'll flip it to the other side and I'll top stitch on it. You will see what I did very soon. So I'll place it like this. Then I went ahead to sew. Then I top stitch on it. I did the same thing for both sides. So now this is what my blouse is looking like. So the next thing to do now is to join the sides. But for this side, you have to open one part of the side. So where you want the belt to go in. So from this, I'll be opening up this side here. You see this side that the belt is going towards, I'll be opening up that side. So at the waist area, I will leave about 1 inch opening. So I'll leave about 1 inch opening at that side, so the belt will be able to pass through that side. So I'm just marking the point so that when I'm sewing, I will skip that part. Just 1 inch at the waist area. So make sure it is at the waist area so that the belt can pass through it easily. Like the belt can pass through it, so it should be at the waist, exactly at the waist area, because the belt was joined to the waist area also. So it should be something like this, as you can see, something like this. So the belt will pass through that part and come to this other side here, as you can see. So the opening should be 1 inch like that. So now this is my sleeve. I went ahead to sew the band to it, and after sewing, this is what my sleeve looks like. So this is what my sleeve look like right now. So this is the armhole at this upper part. So I'll just go ahead and fix this armhole to the blouse. So I'll go ahead and fix the armhole to the blouse armhole, and this is what I have. This blouse is very easy to make and it is very beautiful. If you want to see how to style this on yourself, keep watching and I will show you how I was able to style it. So now you place this belt like through the hole that we left at the side, then you bring this belt to the front. You can tie this belt whichever way you want, because the belt is very long, so you can still wrap it around your body one more time before you tie it. And this is what I have. As you can see, if you notice this part is opening, you can just find a brooch and place it at this side just to hold it down. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, it came out very nice. See the back, the back, the back came out very nice, and the length was very perfect. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.